Hi everyone, thanks for joining. We are like 3 minutes past, and we can start our demonstration. Till I can see if you join. Yeah, fine. So, hi everyone. Uh, Thank you for joining today's demo session. So, this is a good decision, I would say. Lot of you are dedicating your time to attend this demo session. So in terms of understanding the new concept called Azure DevOps. So yes, we can start. I think all the registered students have joined. So I've started the recording session. So whoever is unable to join today's demo, you can check it later too. Yes, fine. Let me introduce myself. My name is UV. I would be your trainer for this Azure DevOps training program. So it is a 40 hours of training where we will cover the concept of DevOps, Azure, and few things related to the tips, tricks, all those things we are going to cover. So coming back to me, so I'm UV. I have around like 17 years of experience in IT, which covers both the infrastructure and application aspect. So in that, like more than 13 years, I'm working as a cloud DevOps. Yeah, more than 13 years, I'm contributing on this cloud DevOps where I have to support a lot of clients in terms of their cloud migrations. Again, like I do have work experience in public cloud, Azure, AWS, and GCP, all three public clouds. And I have work experience in the private clouds also. And I have work experience in the on-premises DevOps too, because we started a journey from the on-premises only, all this DevOps journey. So I have work experience in the on-premises DevOps tools also. And I'm part of, even now I'm doing, okay, I am part of a lot of migration programs, the cloud migration programs, where I'll be contributing on the DevOps aspect in terms of delivery, consulting aspect too. So coming back to our program definitions, like we have created the agenda by considering three different aspects. That is, if you are the student, like you are planning to learn DevOps, you have no background about this Azure at all, but still you want to upskill yourself. You want to enter into the cloud world, to the DevOps world. So that kind of students can attend this particular program. Or if you're already into the IT world, but you are in the non-cloud aspect, that you may be a tester or you may be a developer, but you want to upskill yourself, you want to enter into the zone of cloud along with the DevOps, then you can attend this. Or you are already practicing the DevOps, but you are doing it in the on-premises. You want to explore or you want to learn the skills in the cloud DevOps, the cloud DevOps practice. What are the options you have? So those are the students you can attend this program. So by considering all this aspect, whether you are from the cloud background or non-cloud background, whether you're from DevOps background or whether you're not from the IT background, by considering all set of students, we have brought in this curriculum so that we will cover from the beginning to the advanced courses. So let me quickly share the screen because you can see this information in our official website also. That is the reason I'm sharing our official website where you can see the complete informations about our training courses like this particular Azure DevOps. I hope my screen is visible. You can give me a thumbs up if you're able to see my screen. Thank you. Thank you for the confirmation, Tom. So now, this is our Isha Training official website. So here you can see the complete course related aspect in terms of what is the agenda of this course curriculum, like who are all can attend, what is the outcome of it. So complete details, you can see it in this website. So today's demo session, I'll be covering the overall information at a high level, like what you're going to learn in the next 40 hours. It is a 40 hours of training program. So in Indian timing, it is like 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. IST. And the other time zone related conversations are all mentioned in the group chats, like in the WhatsApp, you can refer related to your time zone. It is all mentioned very clearly. So it is 1 hour per day, and it's on all 5 working days. That is from Monday to Friday. So we have this session every day, 1 hour session. And along with this, like what we will do is like we will cover this curriculum. Along with this, I'll be giving you the lab practices too. So once completing a particular topic, you will be provided with the labs. So before getting into the lab, I'll be helping you to set up your free account. That is for Azure. You will be using a portal like this. So I will show both the portals. So this is the portal you will be working for your Azure related aspect. So if you are the student, if you don't have a that is Azure account at all, no problem. I'll be guiding you to set up a free trial option. So if you never used a Azure account before, then you can very well register for a free trial option. That is 30 days trial period the Azure will give you. So using that, you can practice your training courses. And apart from that, like you will be working on one more tab also, that is your Azure DevOps portal. So these two are the screens you will be predominantly using in our 40 days of training. So this also I will tell you how you can set up your Azure DevOps consoles, your portal. So these two are the things you will be using. Again, like if you never ever used before this Azure, then no problem. Like it will be straightforward. Like you can set up your free trial and you can work on it. So this is the option we'll be doing. So coming back to the lab. So once your free trial option is set up, like we will be doing the courses, and whenever a particular course is completed, whenever a particular topic is completed, you will be given with a lab. So you'll be practicing the lab. If you stuck somewhere, if you face some issue. So what we will be doing is after this demo session for the registered students, we will be creating one final group. So a WhatsApp group will be created. In that WhatsApp group only further communication and all will happen. Only for the registered users we will do. In that group, we will be discussing the lab related aspect. Like if you face any issue, you can take a screenshot of it and you can post it in the WhatsApp, and I'll be clarifying then and there. If you still didn't understand, then what we will do is the next day we will discuss the related content. That is whatever lab I assigned in the previous session. If you're unable to crack it, then that we will sort it in the next session. So this is the practice we'll do. So ideally, it will be like 40 hours of training. That is the sessions I'll be covering. Apart from that, offline support for your lab things also we'll be doing. So this is the course practice we to follow. And this 40 hours, again, it is not going to be a PPT presentation. It is not going to be some documentation alone. So initial few days, because initial few days we have to cover the introduction about what is DevOps, what is cloud and all, right? Those things alone will be covering few of the PPTs. Later on, like once we get on into the actual concepts like your compute services, like how you can create your Linux machine, how you can create your Windows machine, the automation concepts and all, when we jump into that, what we will do is we will log into the related machines, or we will log in into the related tools, and we will be working there. But still, I will be showing here and there some presentation because to cover the theoretical concept also, but the percentage of documentation which I present will be less compared to the initial few days, because once you get on into the concept, I won't be showing a lot of documentation, because I the one who follows the concept of hands-on training. That is, I'll be showing you the screen, the real-time screen. If I want to create a virtual machine, then this is a screen I'll be showing you. Here I'll be telling like how you can create your virtual machine through the portal, how you can create a virtual machine through the automations, that is infrastructure as a code. It can be a Terraform, or it can be your ARM template in Azure, or the other options available, the Cloud Shell related options. So this is how we are going to take our course. So ideally, we will be doing a lot of activities in the related tools. So for Azure related aspect, these two are the portals we'll be using. That is for a pure Azure aspect, I'll be using the Azure portal. This is the URL. And for the DevOps one, I'll be using the DevOps portal. Similarly, when I cover the concept of Docker, then I'll be showing you the Docker UI and Docker Hub kind of thing. So when we discuss the related topics like Jenkins, so as part of our course curriculum, we are covering Jenkins also. So when I cover the Jenkins, then you will be presented with the setup of Jenkins. So I'll be dealing only with the Jenkins tools. There I'll be logging and I'll tell you like how you can create your jobs upstream, downstream. So those things and all we'll be discussing. On a high level, when you are completing this 40 hours of training, you will have the hands-on experience in all these tools because I'm going to support you, like I'm going to guide you how you can set up these tools. If it is a Jenkins, how you can download and what are the setups you can do it in your local laptop. So that we are going to discuss. And if it is a Docker UI, how you can use. Again, one thing I want to mention. So this particular course, I am concentrating on the students who is from non-technical background also. That is, you might be from non-coding background, I would say. Like if you're not a programmer also, or if you're the tester or manual tester perspective, if you don't know how to do this coding, there are some students I have seen in my previous batches. So I'll be covering two set of aspect, that is how you can create these resources through portal. That is for the student who feel comfortable with the portal aspect, who feel comfortable with the UI, the GUI option. So that I'll be covering. At the same time, if you are feeling that I'm already in the DevOps, like I want to do a next step aspect, I want to do some automation, I want to do some scripts, means I'm covering that aspect also. That is, you will be doing some labs related to writing some codes, like in terms of your Terraform, like infrastructure as code, you will be writing your codes, or for CI/CD pipeline in case, like there are two options we have in pipeline creation. Either you can go with the classic editor option, where students you feel that I'm from a testing background, so I want to run from the UI aspect. Yes, that also will be covering. Or if you feel that I'm the core DevOps person, like I want to write the um, DevOps scripts, yes, the YAML option also I'll be covering. So here I'm balancing both the students. Like it's not only meant for the students who is coming from the development background who has a script understanding. So it's not like that. Like if you are the person who is from the testing background who wants to upskill, like you feel that I want to upskill myself, I want to explore the DevOps world, means that also we are covering in this sessions. And one important thing is like once we start our regular sessions, we will create a dedicated WhatsApp group apart from the group which you are currently there. Like we only for the registered users, we will create it. So what we will be doing is at the end of every sessions, like this is like a 1 hour session, right? All these sessions will be recorded. So the next day it will be loaded to you. So it will be loaded into the YouTube channel, and that particular link will be shared with you. So if you miss to attend any of the session, there is no problem at all. The very next day, whenever you are available, you can very well go through that video. And if you have any issues or queries in the video, we will be discussing in the next session. So this is the pattern we are following. So and I'll be using one presentation, a PPT, for this complete program. So at the end of this 40 hours, like a PDF version of this documentation will be shared with you for your reference purpose. And you know, in the recorded session, you will see like when I present, you're going to see it. But for to keep it as a handbook, it will be shared like after completing the course, that PDF version will be shared with you. So you can refer it in your future also. So now coming back to our discussions, like this website, in 40 hours, what and all I'm going to cover. So slowly we will be picking up from the basic concept, because there are some cases, some students are aware of DevOps. There are some cases students may not aware of DevOps just for their job opportunity. They came to know that there are a lot of job opportunities in the market related to the DevOps. So they would have registered for this. So what we do is by considering the students who is not from the DevOps background. Okay. Right. Yeah, no question. Okay. for the student who is not from the DevOps background, so we have to tell them like what is DevOps first of all, right? So for that, what we are doing is I'm starting with the initial introduction. So what is DevOps? So we will be discussing about the introduction. So why we need DevOps? Before DevOps, what we were doing? What is the life cycle of DevOps? So before DevOps also, we do perform all these activities. We do maintain our infrastructure, maintain our application, but there were some challenges. So we are going to discuss that also. And what are the different models we are following? Like what is your waterfall model? What is your agile model? So those things are also we are going to discuss. So this would be the introduction would be a theoretical discussion because to make yourself comfortable with the DevOps concept, to know what is DevOps, we'll be discussing that. Then further to that, like we will be discussing few technical things related to DevOps because we are going to deep dive on all these topics in the upcoming things. Like we will be discussing about Git. What are the options you have in Git? How you can create your branch, how you can push your code, how you can manage your code. So those things and all we are going to discuss further. So beginning, like we will have a ice break sessions, like we will discuss about what is version control. First of all, you should know, right? Like everybody is talking about Git, but first of all, you should know what is version control. Why I need version control. So those discussion and all will be done. Then we will discuss about our CI/CD options and what is our configuration management tool. So different type of configuration management tools are there. So in our session, we will be doing a hands-on in Ansible. Like we will do a deep dive in Ansible. What are the different options I have? Like why I'm using Ansible, how I can do a configuration management in Ansible. So the Galaxy operation. So all these things we will be discussing in the Ansible. And related to the containerization and orchestration, we have a separate topic itself. I'll be showing shortly. So we are going to deep dive on the Dockerization, how you can create your image, your Docker image, and how you can push the image to the Docker Hub. At the same time, how you can get a image from your Docker Hub and how you can run it. So those things and all we are going to see in the Docker topic. And infrastructure as a code. So I'll be covering two topics in this, like infrastructure as a code, because if you are the core Azure DevOps person, most of the time you will be using the ARM template, that is Azure Dedicated Infrastructure as a code. But in the market, we use widely Terraform, okay, irrespective whether you are from the Azure background or you are from the AWS background or even from some other cloud you are using. So Terraform is the centralized infrastructure as a code. So we have designed this particular course topics in such a way that though we named it as Azure DevOps, it is predominantly concentrating on the DevOps concepts. Whether you're going to be a on-premises DevOps person or a cloud DevOps person, so we'll be covering the topics which is common to all the aspects. So if you learn Terraform, it's not like you will be working only as Azure DevOps person. You can use it in the AWS Terraform also later part. So it's like you are learning one time, but you can use in the other areas also. Similarly, the other topics which I'm going to cover, like in terms of your version control, the Git repositories. So in terms of your Ansible, it's not like it is strictly or tightly coupled to Azure. So I'll be covering this topic by considering you as a DevOps person. Like for a DevOps person, what and all you need in your project, in your future projects where you're allocated. Like if you are supposed to work in a different cloud environments also, you can easily take the task because you have learned the core concepts, and I'm going to tell like you know the core and the top of it how you can use it for Azure. So both the things we are going to see. So if you are comfortable with the core concept in future, if you are supposed to work on the other clouds also, you can easily customize and you can work on it. So now once the initial introduction sessions are over, like what is DevOps and what are the different concepts are there in DevOps, we will be doing a introduction on the cloud also, because this course is intended for like cloud come the Azure DevOps, right? So that is the one we are discussing here. So by considering that we have an introduction about the cloud also. because I saw in the previous sessions that there are some students who is not at all from the cloud background. And for them, we have to explain like what is cloud, why we need cloud computing, and what are the different options are there. And so those things and all we'll discuss. Then we will jump on into the Azure cloud. So again in Azure cloud to do the DevOps role. So it's not like straight away we will jump into CI/CD aspect. So it's not like on the very first day, if I tell like you can build your pipeline, you can deploy your application, you can provision your infrastructure, it's not going to work out because you should first know what are all the options in infrastructure you have. What is virtual machine that you should know? What is virtualization you should know? What is containerization you should know? Then only if we discuss about the Dockers, Kubernetes, that and all we can discuss. So that for that, what we did is like I have added the topics related to the your applications, your what is virtual machine, what is storage. So we will have a deep dive into both the concepts like your virtualization concept, your virtual machine creation. So here we will do a demo, a complete demo. So whatever topic we are going to discuss further, it's like a complete demo. It's not a theoretical discussion. So we will be logging into the Azure portal. There I'll be showing you how you can create your Windows machine, how you can create your Linux machine, how you can log into the machine. So those informations like you will be discussing. What are the different ways you can connect your Linux machine? How you can generate your keypads like for your PPK, spam. So those discussions and all will be doing here. And coming back to the storage account, because every infrastructure you need a storage account corresponds to that. It can be for your application perspective or it can be for an infrastructure perspective. So what we are doing here is what are the different type of storage options I have in Azure. So if I'm planning to store some audio files, video files, or documents, where I can store it. If I'm planning to handle some files, general documents, where I can save it. If I'm planning to deal with some queues, if I'm planning to deal with some file transfers, tables, what are the different storage account options I have? So those things we'll be discussing on the storage. And what are the different ways I can access to storage? What are the security measures I can follow in my storage account? So the rotation of tokens, those things and all will be demonstrating in this. It's like a pure demonstration. So I'll be showing you the different options in storage account, how you can access it. And main thing here is if you're a DevOps person, it's not only like you will be provisioning a resource or you will be deploying your application. Sometimes you have to do the planning too. That is in terms of your decision making about your storage account, like availability. So this is also the thing you will get it in your interview aspect. So it's not like straight away they will say that, hey, go and create your storage account. This is not going to be the real time activity. So all my demos will be related to your real time activities. That is ideally when you approach someone, like when somebody approach your DevOps team, what they will tell us, they will give a requirement stating that, hey, I want the infrastructure which is having 100% availability. 100% like good redundancy should be there. There should be a good backup. So a lot of technical terms they are going to discuss in your DevOps world. So we are going to discuss those things also. You should be knowing what is availability, what is scalability, what is redundancy. So what is vertical scaling, what is horizontal scaling, what is auto scaling. Because when I discuss about the topic, this virtual machine, so here I'm not only going to discuss about virtual machine, I'll be covering the auto scaling concept also, because that is the hardcore topic of your compute service, right? If there is more traffic, if there is more load, obviously your infrastructure should react accordingly. It's not like somebody should come and do a eyeball monitoring and they will add new resources. This is not the real time practice. In DevOps world, what we do, how you implement the scaling. Scaling can be two types, like you can do a manual scaling, you can do a auto scaling. So I'll be demonstrating both the options, how you can do a manual scaling, how you can do a auto scaling. What is the difference between your vertical scaling, your horizontal scaling? First of all, what is scaling? That also we'll be discussing. And coming back to the storage one, what are the different options I can choose to increase availability? In terms of redundancy, what are the best practice I can follow? So those options we are going to discuss. And based upon the nature of the file I'm going to maintain, maybe sometimes I will have a file which I frequently access. There are sometimes I'll access some files once in 3 months. So depend upon that, there are some cost optimization we can do. Because if you are a DevOps person, it's not like only we will do the scripting, right? You have to work on the cost optimization also. Once you can like migrate your application, obviously the project people started questioning you on your bills also. So I'll be discussing on the cost optimizations. What are the options you can follow to select the correct resource in terms of your compute or in terms of your storage accounts. So we will be discussing that, and I'll be demonstrating you like how you can create your storage account with local redundant zone option. So those and all we are going to discuss in this storage. And next topic would be a repo. So version control. So ideally, if you are a tester or if you are a developer, you have your set of scripts, you have your set of codes. So those codes you will be maintaining in a version control pattern. So we will be discussing what is version control. Then I'll be demonstrating Git repository and Azure repositories. So how you can create your repository in Azure, how you can keep the code in the remote repository, how you can take the code locally, what are the different activities you can do. Like you can add a file, you can commit it, you can push it. So these are the technical terms, and I'm going to explain in the real time word, that it's not like I'll be using only technical or jargon words, because I can understand if you are not from this uh, technical or the development cycle, this particular topic would be something challenge when you read it online or theoretical aspect. That is the reason, like I'll be demonstrating and I'll be showing what is commit means, what is pull, what is push. So how we can create different branch, how you can handle multiple deliverable at the same time using this version control. So those things and all we'll be discussing in this repo. So here I'll be covering both Git repository. That is why I'm saying is insisting this term is whether you're going to use this inside the Azure or in a general, because Git repo is not strictly coupled with Azure concept. Like you can use this Git repo as a standalone tool also. So I'll be showing three different ways to access your Git repo, your Azure repo. That is, you can use the traditional way. If a developer means they will be using Visual Studio Code or any of the editor to push their code or to take the code from the remote repository. So I'll be demonstrating that option. Or if you are the tester, like you are not comfortable with the editor, then you can use UI. That is, there are a lot of options are there, like Tortoise Git is the one, the UI option I'm going to demonstrate for the student who feel comfortable with the UI navigations and all. Or if you feel that I'm feeling comfortable with the comments, then I'll be demonstrating the Git comments also. Like what are the comments, like whatever I told recently, right? Your push, pull. So all these things, we have a dedicated comments for that. So those comment wise also we are going to discuss. So three types of options I'll be discussing with you in the repositories. And tools, CI/CD. So Jenkins. So before getting into the Azure world or before getting into the cloud world, we were using Jenkins only. The on-premises DevOps resources and all were using the Jenkins only. So it's good to know Jenkins, because in most of the organization, even now they are using Jenkins. So in Jenkins, we will be seeing the options like how you can create your job, what are the plugins you will have it, how you can create your upstream, how you can create your downstream, and how you can execute it, how you can debug it. So those things and all we'll be discussing. The user management in Jenkins. So those are the things we'll be discussing in the CI/CD Jenkins. And next thing is like configuration management. So again, like we all very well know, like in the first sessions I was telling, like I was like you can create a virtual machine. I'll be demonstrating you how you can create a virtual machine and all. But once you create your infrastructure, if you have to make some modification to the infrastructure, say any app server you want to add it, or an Apache you want to update it, or a Tomcat version you want to update it. So in those cases and all, we will be using the concept of configuration management only. So there are different tools available in the market. Like we will do a comparison about this, like a theoretical comparison about Ansible, Puppet, and Chef. So these three are the famous thing in the market. So we'll do it comparisons, but we will do a deep dive into the Ansible. So why I have chosen Ansible is this is the top requested thing in the market. Like whenever you go for a requirement or when you go and check any of the job description, the JD in the openings and all, whenever they are asking Terraform for the infrastructure as a code, along with that, they're asking Ansible also. That's why we have taken this topic and we are going to do a deep dive, a demonstration on the Ansibles, like how you can set up your environment for Ansible, how you can make the communication between your the master to the slave concepts and all. So these are the things like galaxies options and all. I'll be demonstrating you and I'll be showing you how you can create your roles, those and all. What is the benefit of roles and all? We'll be discussing in the configuration management. Then, so now you have your infrastructure, that is virtual concept you have. But the next step is containerization. You have your images. So how you can play around with your images, like how you can create your Docker image. Again, it's we will be checking into two aspects. That is Azure container option also I'll be discussing. Along with that, the independent or a standalone Docker UI also I'll be showing, the Docker desktop option also I'll be showing, because there are some organizations still they are preferring this Docker UI. So that option also I'll be showing you how you can set up your Docker UI locally in your laptop, how you can retrieve the image, how you can run the image, and how you can push your images or how you can play around with your images in the Azure Docker registry also we are going to see. So this topic will cover both the aspects, and the comparison also we are going to discuss, because we are going to discuss about Kubernetes, right? So a theoretical comparison between Docker Spam and this Kubernetes also, because you have container, you have your images, but if it is one or two image, fine, you can manage it. But if you have like hundreds of images, then it is really challenging for you to handle your containers and all, right? So then the concept of Kubernetes come into picture, like orchestration. So here we will be doing a deep dive onto the AKS. So Azure Kubernetes Services will be doing a deep dive, and we will discuss about the main important thing is your kubectl, because this would be the most asked for any person. If you say that I know Kubernetes, then the very next question they will ask is, do you know the kubectl? So this is the command line interface to your Kubernetes. Like there are different options you have, like you can check your pods, you can check your deployments. So those things and all I'll be demonstrating you. So you will be creating a Kubernetes, that is AKS, we will be creating, and we will check our pods, the health checks, the different deployment options are there. So those things and all we'll be demonstrating here, and we will have a theoretical comparison about our Docker Spam and Kubernetes also. And next topic, and very important topic, I would say, infrastructure as a code. Nowadays, if you say I'm a DevOps person, then the very first question they will ask, that is, anyhow, they will ask you whether you know CI/CD pipeline and all. But nowadays, this is also part of the primary skills. If you say a DevOps person, then they will ask you, do you know infrastructure as a code? So again, Terraform becomes the most popular thing. So we will be discussing the Terraform infrastructure as a code. Along with that, I'll be explaining you the ORM template, also the ARM template, the Azure resource template is there. So that way also you can create your infrastructure through code. So there are two ways. One is the traditional way or the native way of Azure. The second one is the common one. You can use it in Azure or you can use it in the other cloud providers also. So both the things I'm covering in the infrastructure as a code. And we will be covering the Cloud Shell concepts also. It's not like you can use only this option. Through the command lines also, your Azure CLI and your PowerShell options, your Azure PowerShell option, using both the things, you can very well create your resources. So that topics also we'll be covering in this infrastructure as a code. And monitoring and logging. So once you migrate your application, into cloud environment, the next thing is your maintenance phase will come into picture. So you have to monitor your resources. It can be your cost monitoring or it can be the performance monitoring. So we'll be discussing about your Azure monitoring concept. So how you can create your alarms, how you can send notifications to group of people. It can be an email notification or SMS notification. So those things and all we'll be discussing on the monitoring and logging feature. And next thing, and I would say this is not a thing in DevOps, but I feel that you should know this for sure because nowadays what they are doing is like they have separated the security as a separate one and they are calling it as DevSecOps. If you go and search it in the job portal, like there are some openings related to the DevSecOps also. It is nothing but like DevOps along with the security concept. So we will be covering the topics which is needed for the DevOps person. If you are a DevOps person, what are the security practice you have to follow? It can be your network security groups, or it can be how you can safeguard your secrets, your credentials, so your role-based access control. So those things and all we'll be discussing in this SecOps concept. The next thing would be the Azure portal. So I've shown two portals, right? One is your Azure portal and another one is your Azure DevOps portal. So there are different pillars in Azure DevOps portals, the different services there. Like you will have a concept of boards, repos, pipelines. So we are going to deep dive into this boards because if you are the person who is from the project management, so you will be predominantly using this boards. You'll be like managing your team. This is mainly used for the project management kind of thing. But still, if you are a tester, if you are a developer, then also you'll be using boards to track your tickets. So we'll be doing a deep dive into this, like what are the different options available, different project options you have, like how you can manage your agile based project or scrum based project. So those things and all we'll be discussing how you can create your work items like your user stories or epic and feature and how you can navigate it, how you can uh, change the status and how you can plan your sprint and how you can efficiently use it, or if you feel that your project is using a customized one apart from the predefined option in Azure, if you're using a customized project management, how you can create your work items and all. So those demos and all I'll be doing in this Azure boards. And we have the concept of CI/CD in Azure. The previously I was talking in Jenkins model, right? That's the CI/CD thing. Azure itself is having this CI/CD concept. So there are two types of pipelines you have. One is your CI, your integration pipeline would be there. Then you have your release pipeline. So both the pipelines I'll be demonstrating. So when I do a demonstration of your CI, it's not only a code compilation I'll be showing. I'll be demonstrating your code coverage and your unit test also because CI to me, it's combination of your building your package, doing unit tests and code coverage. These three aspect only I'll say the CI. So it is not only creating a package after compilation. So I'll be showing how you can create your package if the code is inside Azure repo itself. And we will be demonstrating if in case it's not ideally, all of the client will be using Azure repo. Most of the time, clients will be using the outside repository only. It can be your Bitbucket or it can be your Git repo. So I'll be demonstrating how you can add your external repository code into your CI/CD pipeline. So that demonstration also we'll be seeing in this. So there are two ways I'll be demonstrating. One is like how you can use your YAML option. That is, you will be writing your code, your scripts to do this activity. Or if you're the person who feel comfortable with the UI navigation, then the classic editor option also I'll be demonstrating. So without the code knowledge, you can very well do it. So how you can integrate your unit test case if in case your build is failed, how you can send a notification to the group of people or a build manager, or how you can automatically create a ticket. So in your Azure board, how you can create a ticket for the build failures and all. So those things we will be discussing here. And we will be discussing about this CD, that is release pipeline also. So how you can deploy your application in different environments. So once you build your package, once you have your artifact in your pipeline, then how you can deploy it in your development environment, staging environment, production environment. Again, in development environment, you may have different servers. It's not like only one server you will have it in development. You will have two, three servers. So how you can create your pipeline to deploy in three different servers, three different virtual machines. So those and all we'll be discussing. So I'll be demonstrating with the app services, and I'll be demonstrating the blue-green deployment model also. That is the ask in the market, like how you can do a blue-green deployment. Like you will have your code running lively. You will be pushing your code to the production without disturbing the user, or I would say the least disturbance to the users, like how you can swap your production with the new code. So those things we will be discussing in this CR, that is, sorry, in your release pipeline. And when you approach with this CI/CD process, obviously there are a lot of approvals is needed. It's not like just like that you can go and disturb an environment. So you need some sign off, some approval is needed. So you need to send an email to the approver. So that live demo also we are going to see, like whenever deployment has to happen in an environment, how you can kickstart the approval process, or how you can have a gate, like without adding any change in your development environment. You can check like there should not be any high priority issue or a critical issue. If all the critical issues is closed, then only you can start the deployment. So how you can create the gate. So those things and all we'll be discussing in the release pipeline concept. And again, notifications in terms of your failure and create tickets, those and all we'll be discussing. So, and how you can create your artifacts, because artifacts is the hardcore, right? So how you can create your artifacts, and you may have like 10 versions of artifacts, like which versions you can select, like how you can change your artifact selection. It's not like compilation happened today and some CI pipeline ran today and that code alone you have to take. No, not like that. You can modify, you can take the code 2 days back also. So how you can do that configurations in the pipeline. So that and all we'll be discussing in the CD. And multiple environment, approval, manual interventions, gates, strategies, so those. And finally, we'll be discussing about this best practices, because when you function as a DevOps person, it's not like you will be doing always the happy path, right? So in some of my demos, I purposely introduce some issues and I will show you like these are the issues you can expect in your real time, because I'm sharing my real time experience in this last 17 years. What are the issues I came across, how I faced it, how I corrected it. So that way only I'm going to discuss with you. It's not like I'll be showing you only the happy path. I'll be showing only the working model to you. Obviously, it's not going to work out, right? You will face a challenge. You will get obviously a lot of issues. So we'll be discussing about the issues. And if you come up with the issues, like what are the tips and tricks you can follow? What are different documentation options available in Azure? What are the different shortcuts you have in the cloud shell options, like without following any documentations, how you can navigate your command prompt. So those things and all we'll be discussing in this best practices one. Okay, so yes, these are the overall informations about this DevOps journey in 40 hours. As I told you, like this is the overall agenda. but I'm not going to follow the same pattern. Like it's not like day one I'll be covering DevOps, and day two the cloud, day three. No, it's not going to be like that. I'll be covering the topics which is relevant to the previous topic. So once I cover the previous topic, there will be a relevant topic to that. So that topic only we will pick it. I won't go in the sequence as mentioned in the website, but at the end of the 40 hours, all these topics would be covered. So we will be going jumping between the topics, but it is relevant to the previous topic, or it might be relevant to the next topic. So the topics would be selected in such a way that it is like relevant to the corresponding topic. So that is how we have designed. Okay. So again, uh, all these sessions are recorded, and we have our informations in the portal. Like they will be sharing you this information